The old road was there for years where they had drugged the logs down the hill, and then the road came right down by that ash swamp, up next to the foothill there, and crossed the bottom. And where he crossed the bottom, they had what they call skid roads. They cut green poles about
She must have went on.
8 inches through or like that, and put them crossways there about 5 feet apart to hold the logs up and make them drag easy. And they used those after they logged with horses too. They used to. I don't remember it there, but they tell me that they used to use bacon grease and any kind of grease to pour on those skids to make them slippery. And where they didn't have skids and were dragging them where it was kind of on the flat, they used to pour water on the dirt to make it slippery. The logs were all sniped before they hooked onto them to pull them. That is like this log here, then they cut the corner off here about 3 to 4 inches all the way around so that it wouldn't butt into anything. It hit those skids and right up over. And then they drugged the logs to the creek. They were all floated out of Kitchen Creek. They even floated them, the logs from clear up at the foot of the mountain out of Kitchen Creek. You couldn't float a cap down the creek now the way the brush is growing in, but then they kept the creek clean. They even floated logs out of Hall's Creek, and it wasn't big enough to float a log, but they floated big old logs out of there.
What did they do when it flooded?
Well, you floated them when you had a high water. I mean, when it was up high, you'd fill the creek up and boom them there, so they couldn't get away. And then when the water come up, you'd cut it loose, but not when they was having high water. I don't know whether anybody ever got caught with a bunch of logs in there when it flooded or not, but they were probably boomed, so they couldn't get out. And when you run them, you run them out in a day.
Out there, Marguerite's got pictures of those logs there.
Get out of there and run out in a day's time usually, and most of them came to Whitaker's Mill, which is right out here just above the old depot. They're right on the bend of the river there, and they were pulled up out of the river there. They'd catch them in a boom when they come down there. And then along in the early 20s, I don't know exactly when, but maybe it started in, probably 1922 or just about there. They built these splash dams up the Middle Fork. Have you ever seen that framework there along Sugarloaf there, this side of Uncle Roberts? In the river there, there's an old framework in there where they had splash dam.
I think so.
They had either 3 or 4 of them up the river, and these were made with poles that stood up and down and backed the water up, maybe 10, 12 feet high back of it. And they had this series of it. I'm not sure whether there's 3 or 4. The upper one was up at Slater Creek. And they would get the logs in the river up at one of these upper dams, and then when they had the logs in and there was enough water, they'd open that dam by pulling these, they take PVs, I believe, and pry these uprights up so they'd swing out with the water. And it was hinged at the top so they'd stay there some way. And they'd run that down to the next dam, and when it was just the right time, they'd open the next dam, and then the next one, and they floated clear out of the river that way. The water out here, even up into maybe up as long as 1930 or more. When I was working the cheese factory, where the river would raise, 5 or 6 feet in just a few minutes, way down there. And then, maybe more than that, I don't remember. and then the logs are all go down the river. Now, I don't know when they quit using them, or exactly when they started, but it was started in the early 20s, and I remember going up there, 1924, 25, one of the teachers took a carload of us up to watch them run logs up there. There was a movie made once up there. A fellow was going to ride a canoe down the end of these logs, and they told him that he couldn't do it. He found it out. He drowned. He didn't realize what he was getting into. He didn't know what that river would be when they turned it loose. They all told him not to do it, that he'd never live through it. He never. Yeah.
You said you had to put oil on the side. How come you had to put oil on the side?
To cut the pitch. See, the pitch to make the saw stick, you couldn't pull it. And the oil would cut the pitch loose, make it slip through the pitch or something. You carried a bottle of oil. It would be kerosene mixed with some regular cylinder oil, and this had a cork in it that had a groove cut in the edge, so you could swing it like that and just throw a little stream of oil. That cork would last quite a while. And on the bottle of this was a thing like a fish hook on the neck of the bottle, and wrapped so to stay on there, and you stuck that in the tree when you was working. You usually up on a springboard in the side of the tree. And that bottle would be hanging there. Whenever your saw got pulling too hard, you just reach up and get it and just throw it on the saw. You never stop sawing. You just saw with one hand. And when the saw come out, you'd throw some oil on it back, and it'd come out again. You throw it again, and you stick the bottle up and work. Otherwise, your saw would gum up, and you just couldn't pull it.
Why didn't you tell that on there?
I fell down on Cunningham Creek for a while. And of course, around the ranch was always falling. There was a lot of old growth on the ranch, and you always had to have oil along to keep the saw free.
My dad was a saw filer. He worked around the Nation camp, and he just piled saws to the big long saws to the company there for several years.
In 1929, my dad and I logged with horses. I got hurt in the woods that spring in March, 2nd of March, up on that high hill the other side of Airville there. And I was laid up till along in the last part of March. I went back to the cheese factory on the 29th of March and worked a while. Then I got a chance to go to work for Union Oil Company, and I went to work for them. But the vibration of the driving truck was up that knee on the edge. I got the sawtooth right in there and cut an artery and split a tendon and hit the bone. And I had to quit that, and I didn't do anything for, well, I guess that was about the 1st of July, and I got kind of behind, and so we bought some white cedar and logged it. We drug one bunch of logs come out right where the house was right up the creek there on that flat, and the other one come down that creek up where the old man Bartlett's place was there. I don't really know where that is or not. It's where Anderson's had bought that piece up above where that house was. And we logged with teams that year. And I worked winters some logging, and I did falling and bucking, and I worked on a donkey once, setting chokers, I went up to rig a tree one time.
What's that?
Well, a high lead tree, you go up and hang blocks for the way up in the tree for the logs to come through, or the lines to run through to drag the logs in. The fellow running the donkey, Rosie Warner, he was had been a high climber some, and he went up and limbed at first and hung a block with a straw line in it. That's a small haulback line, really. Well, it's smaller than a haulback. It's a straw line. And then he, in the eye of the line where it come down, see, and went up through the block, and then the donkey would pull it up. He cut a cedar slab about that wide and about that thick. He notched it a little bit and shoved it through the eye of the line, and that was all I had to set on to go up and rig the tree, was that darn little white cedar piece. Nothing to keep me from falling if it broke. It was about 80 feet up to where the block was. He had a long limb right under the block. Well, it wasn't long, about 4 feet long maybe. The line run right by it, and I told him, I said, now when you get up to that limb, you slow up and let me work around it. But he wasn't of that nature. He didn't know what slow up meant. And boy, he just took me right up that tree, and I was sitting there, and that limb hit me right across the legs here and snapped off, and I didn't know whether my saddle or the limb had broke. Scared me to death. I got up there, and I only had 2 hands. I had to use both of them to hang on with. I couldn't hang blocks. Or guy lines, what I was going to hang was guy lines. Guy it so it wouldn't break off, see, when you pulled. You hang the guy lines there and then take them out and fasten them to stumps.
Tell a pancake story. Tell a pancake story. How the pancakes, you know, you told yesterday?
Oh. What, you want that?
Might as well.
Well, I guess it was a Shorter Nations camp, probably. Because Grandma's dad was there at the table, and one of the fellows had caught a pitcher full of pitch out of an old-growth tree that looked like syrup or honey, and put it on the breakfast table in front of Parker Leatherwood. And in the morning, they always had pancakes for breakfast, and he poured that pitch on his pancake. And he started chewing on it. Of course, right away he knew what it was, but he just kept right on it chewing, and he said, I think I'd make it all right if I had somebody to pour oil.
Are you doing something this morning?
No.
Well, I was wondering if...
Want to get some dope on old-time logging, and I guess you logged about as long as anybody. Well, that pretty ain't quite a bit of it. What are you, 98 now? Huh? You're 98 years old now? Yeah, bad. January. January. When did you start logging? How long ago? How old were you? 21. Yeah, that's... What's on Skid Row? 77 years ago you started logging. You know, Johnson was on that hill there and had that water power mill. Oh, down on Johnson? Well, I worked there. That's where I started in. Oh, you did? Was that timber clear down to the river there? That was long after the boat team. Was the timber clear down to the river there then? No, it was up on the hill. Oh. That was all over the bulletin. Yeah, the bulletin there for a while.
Where's Wolfie? That oxen?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't call them oxen in the logging country's bulletin.
Well, I first got the numbers on Skid Row.
You built the Skid Road?
And went to Bucking and poured equipment, and then I went to Poland and poured all after.
I can just barely remember that when they were still using bulletins, you logged down home there with it. Now, when you put those skids in there on turns and that, you slanted these skids so the logs would come around right, didn't you?
Yeah. Put them on curve. Quite a little job of starting them up, too.
Yeah. So what did you use for skids? What? Arnold?
Anything for the right size.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Did you live right in the camp? Were you
You
lost?
can't talk pretty loud.
Did you live right in the camp?
She wants to know if you lived in the camp.
Yeah, I stayed in camp. Before then, they used to walk.
They always lived in Camp 10, even if it was only 3 or 4 miles, didn't they?
Yeah.
What in?
No, they had bunkhouses. Bunkhouses and a cookhouse.
Was that about the first people who lost here, or were there others before that?
Was there much longer than none before that time?
It was all in the summertime, nothing in the winter.
Yeah. But was there much longer than none before you started logging?
No, I don't think there was very much.
They were just
There
getting
was some
started
over about Toledo and over that way.
over toward the bay. There was some.
Yeah. Well, Bill Ward and Bill Noble sawed the first tree down that was ever sawed down.
You know when that was?
Yeah.
You know when it was?
Yeah.
Do you know what year they did that?
No, I don't know. But it was pretty early.
Bill Ward and Bill Noble, you say?
Yeah.
Now, Bill Ward, was he the father of those wards up Ward Creek?
I don't know. I don't hardly think he was. He stuttered.
Yeah.
He like Bill Ward, like Bill, oh, that was it. I forget his name now.
No, I can never remember anybody's name, so think nothing of it.
I forget I know it all right till I wanted to, and then I can't think of it.
Yeah, I know.
How much money did they make in those days?
Yeah, what were you paid a day for building that skid road?
Got $1 a day to start out.
$1 a day.
I had it on the skid road. And when I got to bucking, I got a quarter raise.
We got $1.25 a day bucket.
It was a day's work, too.
Yeah.
They put it on.
Ate your sandwich in one hand and saw it with the other. No, you never did work on the rigging, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for George Cheney. When George logged up Rib Creek there.
George who?
Cheney.
Oh, George Cheney. Oh, you worked on the rigging up there, huh?
Yeah.
I thought you always fell or bucked, or mostly bucked. You never fell very much,
I
did you?
did, but mostly on the rigging. And they keep the wires open, too, with them speed donkeys.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did they get the steam up the nose?
Oh, with wood. They had a... What they call it? A bullbuck cut the wood for those steam donkeys?
So they have a fireman.
The fireman had to cut his own wood?
Part of the time. Yeah, the drag saw, you know.
Oh.
That older knight used to have.
Yeah.
Like that, and they saw that.
No, I didn't know the fireman had to ever cut his own wood. I suppose he'd be busy fired.
What did the logs sell for you?
Yeah, what were logs worth delivered when you first started?
But John Fenton used to log and up there at Fox Bridge and down River, he got $5 a thousand.
Delivered.
Yes, delivered. That's clear down to Phosphor.
They drove them down the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet now is approximately a log 16 feet long and 36 inches in diameter.
Were there just men at your camp?
What was it?
Were there just men in his camp?
Just men? They were all men there. They didn't have it. Did they have women cooking at that time?
Had what?
Did they have women cooking or...
Yeah. Yes. George Keeney had Purna Harris cooking and Jewel Kite, two cooks.
Yeah.
They didn't have any families living up in the camp.
No. No.
They don't use cookhouses anymore.
No. No.
Was it pretty good food?
They have good food? You want to know?
Yeah. Yeah, lots of it.
Good wholesome food that you can work on.
Old Ed Action says if you don't have good food, you won't get no work.
No. No, I thought of something I wanted to ask. What was it?
I worked a lot for old Bill Howell, too.
Bill who?
Bill Howell,
Oh.
old Bill himself.
Oh. So was he Bildad's father?
Yeah.
Father of the Bildad, the sheriff.
Yeah,
Did you work for Shorter Nason?
I worked for them till it wasn't paying very well.
How much money did you lose working there?
Yeah.
Did you lose quite a bit?
No, I didn't lose any, because I got the lumber from my house from there.
Oh, you did. Well, you know, John didn't play any favorites. You know, he beat his brother-in-law the same as he would anybody else.
Yeah, he would.
My wife's father, you know, he lost money there. He was a brother-in-law.
Yeah. I think old Ed paid pretty well.
Who?
Ed.
Oh, yeah, Ed was honest the day is long, yeah. Well, how long ago was it since you worked in the woods now? 20 years?
42.
1942.
Yeah.
33 years.
Yeah, when my Social Security notified me it was due for it, well, I just took it.
Yeah.
Wasn't very much, so.
No.
I never did think I'd be getting the pension on that again for that.
No.
I guess a lot of them didn't need it.
No. Did you work with the old partner Leatherwood in the woods?
Yeah, I worked for him, or he worked for me.
Yeah. He was younger than you.
Yeah, the funny thing was lines down back. Cedar Creek, you know, originally holler them white cedar.
Yeah.
And the rafter made a big hit around. You've seen that.
Yeah.
And so we went up the tree to cut it, and so I went kicking around on there to get a good place to stand, and there's no skunk jumped out.
Did he?
You know, it stink, man. I said it didn't have to stink.
He did.
What other kind of animals? They were wondering if they saw a lot of animals out working.
Oh, yeah, you saw a lot of animals out in the woods in the early days, didn't you?
No, not very many.
Not many elk or...
I've seen more elk than anything else over the Coos River.
Yeah.
I was over there 2 years in the woods.
Not much bear or anything like that.
Never did see a bear in the woods.
I never have either. They always get out of sight.
I've seen tracks where the track was muddy yet.
Yeah.
Never seen the bear.
Well, they get out of your way if they have any warning.
Yeah. I've seen bobcats.
Yeah. Well, you worked in the woods for, let's see, about 45 years then.
Yeah.
They wanted to know what they did at night after they're through working.
You went to bed. You want to know what you did at night after you was through working?
I'd rather lay down and rest.
They didn't play cards and stuff, or?
No, you didn't play cards or anything much.
No.
I suppose some of them did, but not...
Yeah, some of them. Who Bill Howell worked longest hours for him?
Who?
Bill Howell. You go to work at 6 in the morning, and then you'd be off an hour for lunch. Then you'd work till 6 at night.
That's an hour.
You got a long day out of it.
And what was you getting a day then?
Yeah.
How much a day then?
Oh, $2.
About $2 a day, and you worked 11 hours of hard work.
Yeah.
Well, it just seems like hard work doesn't hurt anybody, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Did you ever have any days off?
No, they never had no holidays them days.
Not on Sunday, huh?
You had Sunday off, didn't you?
You had Sunday.
Otherwise, you worked 6 days a week.
Yep. 6 days a week.
You had to work that extra, that Saturday, only $2 a day. You couldn't make a living unless you worked. You know, when I used to work in the woods, gee whiz, if it rained, even snowed, anything but a real hard wind, we worked. Because we was getting such a small amount of money, you had to have it, Now, they make so much money, if the cloud's over, they come in.
Yeah. I worked for George Cheney when the snow was a foot deep.
Yeah. 1916.
Yeah.
I fell up there for Cheney a little while, but it was a long time after you was up there, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't remember what year for sure. It's around 1930.
Right, no. It's 26th of the month
Huh?
when I started in.
What?
26th of the month.
Oh.
I started that's down Red Creek. I worked a little for George Cheney up the South Fork.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Up above Tom Hayes across the river.
Up where?
Up above Tom Hayes.
Oh.
You know where Tom Hayes lives, don't you?
Yeah.
Way up there.
Well, didn't he have a camp up in this fort too, or was that T. Hall Cheney?
That was T. Hall Cheney. I never was about him.
Yeah. You ever worked for the Powers?
Who?
Smith Powers?
Well, kind of on the wind-up when it was on Cunningham down there and Yoakum was foreman.
Oh.
I worked down there for 2 guys all around November. Because too rainy.
They used to play jokes on one another pretty much in those logging camps, didn't they?
Well, yes, they got chance.
Do you remember any things that happened? Any of the jokes they played on anybody?
No, I don't know if I exactly remember.
What about, did they ever get in any fights or anything? Fist fights?
No, I don't think there ever was a fight.
That's pretty good.
Which I knew of.
Working too hard.
Did you know Henry Halford?
Henry who?
Halford?
Yeah.
You see anybody a little scratch on him, little buddy, just wilts right there.
He was?
He wilts right there.
I guess he was. He had 3 or 4. One of them, you know, killed somebody. I don't
Bill Hooberry.
Yeah. Well, he was out to Springfield there. They had him working shoe shop. Yes, I heard of him.
He swears he was innocent.
Yeah.
He come into my place one night. I can't remember his name now. But he came into my place. See, Dale was his uncle.
Yeah.
And he come out there at the barn and talked to me. But at the same time, he admitted he was so drunk that night he didn't know what happened. But he swore he didn't kill Bill, but he did.
Yeah, I think.
Just as sure as anything, because he couldn't remember what happened. But he finally got out.
Yeah, he got out and was in the shoe business. Was working for somebody else.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Then there was a girl that married Bill Sullivan.
Yeah.
He was the fellow that invented the Sullivan undercutter that you probably used a lot bucking logs.
Well, I worked out there at the Blue River in 40, and one of the boys worked out there at Denver.
Yeah. You remember the Sullivan undercutter, don't you? The Sullivan undercutter.
Yeah, I used one too.
Yeah, I cashed his checks for royalties on them down at Cote Field when I was selling building supplies.
Oh,
They were always small checks, $3.75 and like that, you know. He never made any money out of it, but he's a fellow that invented them.
he invented it.
Yeah.
What were they?
Right one
Well,
now.
they were a thing about that long, a rod about that long, with a flat and sharp chisel type on the end so you could drive it into a log. And then they had a wheel that rolled with, had grooves that you put your saw in this wheel and saw under a log, see, the saw up. It held your saw up so you was up against the log. And it was adjustable. You could open a turn screw here and run that wheel up or down this rod so as to keep your saw up to the wood on the log.
Levi Smith had this difference on these on about the size of your hand, the leg you just clamp right onto your axe handle.
Yeah, I heard about that. I never saw one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, more often than not, I just sunk my axe in the log and slid right over the handle.
Yeah, a lot of them done that.
Did anybody ever get hurt in the woods while you were working?
Did you hear what she said, Mr. Howe?
Huh?
She wanted to know if anybody got hurt bad when you were working in the woods.
Well, not in Camp Aurora. Yes. Well, Frank Wallen, you knew him, didn't you?
Frank who?
Wallen?
Wyland.
Wellen.
Frank Wallen? He worked for Bill Howell down there at Prosper, the tobacco Prosper, and one hit him in the top of the head.
Was he from Powers?
Yeah. I think he's got a boy that's alive now.
Yeah.
Old Frankie.
Yeah, I think so.
Did it kill him or anything?
Did it kill him or just hurt him?
Oh, no, just knocked him out. Oh, I had a doctor out there and showed his head up.
They didn't have to take anybody to the hospital then.
No, it didn't go far. Nowadays, they're always go to the hospital.
How did you get to the camps in those days? Did you
Walk.
walk?
Had to walk, go the day before.
Uh-huh. What did they do on Sunday?
Well, I come home on Saturday night.
Come home and work.
Then they had controversial word for home.
Yeah.
Were there lots of snakes?
Huh?
Were there lots of snakes where you worked?
No.
Probably no more than now. Are there more trees now or less trees now than there were then around?
And what?
Are there more or less trees now than there were in those days?
Yeah. Question?
She wondered if there were more, if there were more trees now or more trees when you was logging.
Well,
There was a lot more then, wasn't there?
yeah, there was a lot more then. Since the last time and lead. If the timber was about all gone, why, they're just starting in on it.
Yeah.
They
Well,
are,
they're really growing a lot more now. They're planting more.
yeah, taking that little mop stick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's 80 carloads a day of logs come in. That's a lot of logs.
Yeah, they did. But it's a crime the size of them they're taking now, you know. Just when they get up to the size where they start growing, like, they cut them when they're like that now, a lot of them.
Yeah. And through that chiplet.
Yeah. When you got a chipper over at Goose Bay, Douglas Fir Plant, Roseburg Lumber Company, it's got a chipper over there that'll take a 52-inch log and push it right in it at 75 feet a minute. All come on chips.
One down. It's just 4 feet. What do you think?
Got it?
The one down home there in that mill, 48.
Oh, well, they take a 48-inch log, and
Yeah.
how fast does it go through, you know?
I don't know. I never did go
Well,
there.
that one would take a 75-foot log in a minute. You just can't imagine it, tearing it up that fast.
I know they bought it pretty fast.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see any Indians while you were working?
Huh?
Were there any Indians running around?
No.
Well, the Indians at that time, they were pretty much the same as white people. I can remember Indians all right, but they lived not the same as white people, only mostly in not such good houses.
Well, there wasn't very many Indians around.
No, not many, but there's always a few. I mean, like Summers, Ace and Sil Summers,
Yeah.
their sister Effie.
There's quite a bunch of them up around ours.
Yeah, down on Road River.
Yeah.
Were those the Road River Indians? Or?
Yeah, mostly, yeah. Yeah, the Missouri's and Billings. Oh, Eyes.
Ernie Snyder, he went over, on the road with us.
Ernie Snyder, yeah. He's got a lodge over there.
Yeah. I've been by it.
Yeah, you went over through there, huh? Took you and Dad over through there a few years ago, didn't he?
Yeah, I was still in the early. And then I was up on the railboat from down there, this little beach up Angeles.
I was up on the mailboat a few years ago. That's quite an experience. Whispering Springs Ranch, were you, did you go there?
No, I didn't.
You went to, you went to school with the girl, sis.
Corliss?
Lucas.
Oh, yeah,
Stop it.
over a little past Lucas.
Well, that must have been the Whispering Springs Ranch. Did you go up the steep steps? Pretty high steps up on the bank?
Well, where I went, it was kind of along the side of the hill, just gradually up, going through steep. I know Herbert, he was ahead of me, and he waited. He said he was going to wait. He fell right back to rest.
Yeah.
had a nice dinner for us up there.
Oh, yeah, a real nice place.
Yeah. Awful windy
Yeah.
and warm, too.
Come to think of it, there wasn't many steps there, mostly a trail.
Quite a few rattlesnakes killed over there last summer.
Yeah, I've never seen one out loose, but there is a lot of them over there.
I never seen one loose either. I've seen them in cage.
Well, Albert and a bunch of kids went down through there before Albert was married, 48 years ago, and they killed 2 or 3. They walked over the hill and down the river.
Yeah.
And they killed 2 or 3 of them going down there.
Yeah.
But I've never seen one of them. I've been right where they were a lot.
You don't see many ticket scores anymore, do you?
No, not so much. Just
Live on it through double.
Hey, we know.
We go on the same page.
No overtime?
No. out there.
Did you have to work on Christmas?
Well, they did work for winter.
Oh.
Well, they did too sometimes, yeah.
What did you do when you weren't working in the summer?
When I wasn't working, well, I don't know. I moved around on the place. You had to find something to do.
Well, you didn't have any TV then.
No.
We're not solid wood. Come out to the ranch out there and the drag saw solid wood for us a couple of times. Or maybe more than that.
Yeah.
Saw it up on a hill one time, you saw the big log up, and then you saw it set down in the field, didn't you?
Yeah. I went away up to the little Yost place and saw it. I did clear up there for Al Weston.
Well,
I guess I cut this to put everybody know the point.
yeah, exactly. What do you want now, Jill?
I'm trying to think.
You hit the gold mine, you don't want to quit, huh?
I cut some work for Culberson. Last one was going to pay me, and I said, oh, well, that's all my right. Just take the wood. Pay me right now.
You never did run logs out of the creeks, did you, or anything?
Well, not very much. Up east, boys, I worked up there one summer.
Well, a lot of people drowned running logs up that way. Was that the east fork or the north fork?
That east fork, too, started in place. I was worried better about Devil's Village.
Well, several people drowned up there running logs.
Yes, there was.
You know, they run logs out of Ketchum Creek everywhere, but I'm sure there wasn't ever anybody drowned up there. George Adams, he was the main log runner out of Ketchum Creek.
Yeah.
Seems funny they could have run old growth logs out of Hall's Creek. If they did,
Yeah.
big logs, I guess 6, 8 feet through, they're running out of Hall's Creek. It don't seem possible.
Yeah.
I see in the paper there 2 ago where Roy Neal's wife died.
Who?
Roy Neal's wife. You worked for Roy, didn't you? I know Hutt did.
Yeah, I worked for Lloyd.
I see where Bishop Neal just died. Roy's been dead several years.
Yeah.
did they keep clean? Did they have baths? I mean, how did they bath up there?
What?
Well, good.
I think so, but I didn't know him.
That kind of food was always been short.
I wondered if they just took a bath and they came into town on Sundays or something.
You didn't have bathtubs out of any kind out of the camps, did you?
No.
You had to wait till you got home Saturday night to take a bath.
And, well, when Coast River had a shower, yeah, we had to build fire one week for the water to get warm.
Well, they used to have public bathtubs around the barber shops like that, where the loggers would take baths on Saturday night, a lot of them.
I remember that. Oh,
Yeah. If you're going to get your hair cut and your shoes shined, then get a bath.
Yeah.
How much did it cost to have your hair cut then?
25 cents. Well, when I was a young fella in Tomoy, kind of swapped around. And the little boy, he got me cut hair, and I'd go up there and he'd cut my hair, and then I'd do something for him.
Yeah. Henry lived up on the hill above the golf course, didn't he?
Yeah, way up there, and
Yeah.
I don't know who owns that now.
I don't either. Last time I was up there must be 30 years ago. There was 2 or 3 little ranches up there. There's one fellow up there made the best beer in Tuscaloosa.
John Strong, he lived up there a
Well,
while.
that's when I was up there, when John was living there.
And he was up there for a while.
I was up there one night, and this neighbor of John's, the one that made the good beer, and we had supper there at John's, and we'd been hunting. And we all had a little beer to drink. Then I don't know why we had a bonfire. I don't know whether it was just burning up trash or what, but there was an old table laying out there with the legs up in the air, and Robbie Strong was knocking it to pieces. He was feeling pretty good, and he took a poleaxe and hit one of these legs standing up in the air, and it knocked it off, and it come over about halfway to me, and the end hit the ground and jumped to come up and hit me right side of the head, right there. I still got a little bit of a knock there. Split my head wide open, and I went down. Then you sagged down about to the ground before I could catch myself.
Well, you put in quite a number of years down there with Smith Woods, didn't you?
Yeah, I was down there 9 years.
Long time.
I worked in the yard piling lumber for, maybe 2 years, and then I had charge of the big cedar shed there. I graded the cedar and piled it to dry, and then shipped it out. We got orders out, and then I went over to the retail yard and sold lumber and building supplies. I was there 9 years altogether.
Ask me if he remembers anything about the wars around, around 1900, around there. What was that, Spanish American, or what were they about then?
You remember much about the Spanish-American War? You wasn't there, of course.
No.
That was 98, wasn't it?
Yeah.
1898.
There's been another call that it's been my time to go. Just got that far.
There was another war about then, too, wasn't there, that we were in?
War with Mexico?
Yeah, something like that.
Don't you know?
I
You
don't
were
remember.
a school teacher.
Well,
And Spence should know. When did Fat Jack Cushing go down in Mexico and get Thea? I remember.
I don't know.
I remember because I remember when Thea was making grapes on on the settlers in Texas. It was probably about 1911 or 12. He was just a captain then. And then we got in World War I in 1917.
How many people lived in Little Point about, when you were young?
I got work 2 different years for William McCloskey for the cream mine.
Oh, you did?
100 years.
We used to put up 100 tier most every winter for local families out there, 32-inch wood.
Yeah.
Then delivered in the summertime as they needed it.
So yes, and I cut in the winter time and got good weather in the spring. I'd haul it down.
What was the U.S.?
I wonder how many people lived in Little Point when I was young.
Was you born here?
Down to go school.
Oh,
1877.
how many people was there in Little Point? About 500?
Oh,
When you was a boy?
I guess it was 500, probably. Close around there. Streets was all mud.
Yeah, I remember when they were all mud. There was not even any gravel in town.
Crosswalks, you know.
Old Jim Brown carried a big shovel. That was his main job, was to shovel off the crosswalks.
Yeah.
Wagons would go down the street and put that deep. And hit this crosswalk would be, I think, 2 2x12s and then one down each side.
Yeah.
They hit that crosswalk and they jump up over it, crack the mud up, and then old Jim Brown would have to come along and scoop them off so people would get across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when summertime would be dusty.
Yeah.
Wind would blow and that dust would fly.
I remember one year in April, they come up and off a big hailstorm. I probably remember that too, but I don't remember what year it was. And we was up to school, and they were walking back and two, you know, and so at home I couldn't help, so I drove up there together, and boy, sure, so
Yeah.
Henry Herman, he got him a new car, and so he was putting that over the bush, and we went down there and put a big canvas over the top of it.
How deep did the hail get?
Oh, it must have been a foot deep.
Oh, my
You know where the old road went down there towards East Dale?
Yeah.
Boy, it just covered that way and come up.
How's it work? Oh, I don't remember the hail getting that deep. About when was that? You remember?
Very deep.
You remember about when that was?
No, I don't remember.
Well, they had cars, it must have been in the 20s, maybe.
I wonder if they did grow a lot of crops coming like that.
Yeah.
Well, they smashed a lot of grass flat to the ground.
Did they have lots of floods or high waters then?
Yeah, up the slide and high water. I see that river full of pumpkins one fall. Planted pumpkins up the North Fork there and then got them harvested, and that high water come and just floated them off. If you want a pumpkin, just go along the riverbank somewhere, you'll find one.
Well, they had a real high water about 1892, didn't they?
Yeah,
That was the year they had the Slide Up Salmon Creek.
oh, yeah.
He would only been 5, I think.
Yes, that's, you know, Well, they had a big excitement one time. There was a storm over bed, and somebody phoned down and said that our sugar loaf was going to slide in and drop the water, and then when it busted out, it would come down and drown everybody down below.
Yeah.
I was kind of excited about it, but it never did slide.
Yeah.
Ask me if you remember when they put in the first phone here, or when you remember that.
Now, you remember when they put the first phone in here, in this country? I mean, the first telephone system, it was a locally owned system, I think, to begin with, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You remember when it was? It was before my time.
No, I don't.
I don't remember just when we got our first phone, but I know we had it by 1914 or 15. Might have been quite a bit before that. I don't remember.
Some of the nation had that mill. But I think before that.
Well, I don't know when they started their mill, what year it was about.
Well, that was about 17 or 18, I think.
Yeah, well, they had phones for that. All right. I'm sure back as far as 1914 or 15 they had them.
Yeah.
Because our rig was 4 shorts out home.
Super, he went around
Yeah,
and looked after them.
yeah. Well, it was owned by a local company to begin with, and then the bigger companies kept merging with it until finally now we got a general telephone.
Yeah.
You girls won't ever be able to write about all of it.
You ever been in that John Day country?
John Day?
Yeah.
I came through there once.
Yeah. That's an old Indian town, I think.
Yeah.
Fences and like buildings.
We came, that time we went out there, remember, sis, and we come through from Pendleton into John Day. We come over Battle Mountain. I suppose probably there's some big Indian battles in there or something sometime. A lot of open, rolling prairie country. I've got pictures of it out here. It's beautiful country. Ernie was going up in there spring vacation, which was 2 weeks ago, I think, at his place. And he was going up to John Day. He'd never been around in there. I told him, be sure to go out on Battle Mountain. Look through Loudon Creek. That's on Battle Mountain. That's a beautiful country.
I was out there hunting a couple of years. I never done anything good. See the country.
You figured it was hunting year before last out there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Somebody put a stop to it. Who was it, Leela?
No.
Did Leela say you couldn't go over?
No, I never heard it.
Bud was going to take you out, I know.
No, I did go out there like twice.
Year before last?
Yeah.
Did you go out?
Yeah, I didn't go to John. Yeah, I went
But you went out with Bud?
Yeah, I went out to Bend.
Well, I thought you didn't get to go at the last minute.
Yeah, I went to. I went to Bud.
Well, Bud wanted to take you. He said, I got you just as able to go as anybody.
I didn't know anything about them having a debate.
Yeah, there was something. I thought you didn't get to go. I think Leela thought you shouldn't go. Thought you had your hunting done.
I got a younger grandson. He was pretty good enough to get me his elk.
Who?
My youngest grandson.
Oh, Bud's boy?
No. was boy.
Oh, Leland. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know him. Yeah, I know him. He got his help this year, huh?
Herbert, he took milk. He was going to show me some milk.
Who was?
Herbert.
Oh.
He come down there one day and he said, well, I'll take your pickup. Move it along. We'll take you over to apple trees. So he helped him there. But he went up the road past water up there city, came back up there to the brush for it, and then took up over the hill and got up just after 3 o'clock.